Like, share, subscribe. Shouts out to the Lions Den community. And don't y'all forget to subscribe to the podcast show. Link will be pinned in the top of the chat.
Just name the channel who can bang with us. I'll prove that you are smoking dust. GTV Media is top notch in this game, y'all. You failures only have yourself to blame, y'all. Ticket TV and a weapons make you suckers cry. Why don't you close your channel, crawl into a hole and die? Shout out to those who love our movement, no, we'll never flop until you get your mouth off LGBT. We are the underground outfit, y'all. We built this whole thing by ourselves, no in y'all. Independence start with self-preservation. If you can't take care of self, then how can you build a nation, y'all? Yup, we got that merch for the ladies and yes, we even got that merch for the babies and we got appliances and everything that you will need. We got some banging songs that make anemic haters bleed.
All right, man, y'all press one if y'all can hear me in the comments, man. I got a mic check real quick. If you guys can hear me in the comments, press one. Mic check, 1 2 1 2, man. Salute to everybody, man. Shout out to the sister Sharita coming through with a $150 donation in the Cash App. Salute to you, my sister. Salute to Sharita in the Cash App with a $150 donation. And also shout out to Arnold as well. Appreciate you, dog, for the donation. Salute to you in the Cash App. Like, share, subscribe. Can y'all hear me? I bet y'all can hear me. All right, man, let's get into it, man. So I told you guys earlier this week I told you guys a couple days ago, I should say, first of all, that Rodney Jones did an interview with DJ Academics. In that interview he did 3 days ago with DJ Academics, Rodney Jones revealed that the feds were coming with more charges against Diddy. Well, a lot of people didn't know how to take that. But if anybody would know, it would have been Little Rod, because Little Rod, again, he sat down with the feds for 3.5 days and gave the feds the entire layout of Diddy's mansion, so on and so forth, how all the operations went. He gave all that information to the federal government. Now, fast forward to today. Now it is a whole different situation, because now a person who was credible, very credible in this case, who told us that the first indictment was coming, Diddy former bodyguard, Gene Deal. If you guys don't remember, Gene, and shout out to Big Gene Deal, go subscribe to his YouTube channel, The Gene Deal Show. Big Gene came out before all of this and told everybody that the feds were working on charges for Diddy. This is before the first indictment, and people didn't listen to Gene. And Gene was right. Then Gene also said something on the Art of Dialogue before the verdict came. Big Gene said if the jury got the verdict before the 4th of July, he said if they did it after the 4th of July, they were going to find Diddy guilty on the big charges. He said if not, they weren't. Big Gene was right about that. That was the second thing I noticed that he was right about. And now Big Gene has revealed today that the feds are currently drawing up a new indictment with new charges for Diddy. I guess charges that they did not include in the first indictment. Now, before we get to what happened, the reason why this will be admissible is because it wouldn't be the same charges. It wouldn't be double jeopardy. And I think that the feds, seeing that they had already got 2 felony convictions on Diddy, they know if they can get anything else on Diddy as far as a felony, he's done for real. So, I mean, you've already seen how the feds got down with R. Kelly. They hit him with multiple indictments, and they hit him in different states with multiple indictments. They did the same thing with Harvey Weinstein. They hit Harvey Weinstein in New York and in California with federal indictments. And now that's how they got both of those guys, R. Kelly and Harvey Weinstein. And now it seems as if we saw it happen as well with John Gotti. You know, John Gotti beat the first case. The feds came back again, beat the second case. The feds came back again, beat the third case. The feds came back again and gave him life in prison. So the feds went after John Gotti until they got him for life. Now there's a situation where a lot of people have been celebrating, a lot of people have been taking a victory lap, when I don't think they remember how the feds operate. The feds don't lose if they don't want to lose. They will keep coming at you until they bury you if that's what they want you. You know what I'm saying? If they want to drain all your assets doing it, they'll make you drain all your financial assets and legal fees and all other kind of stuff trying to fight these different charges and cases because the feds have unlimited resources. Now, Big Gene did a video today. Go subscribe to his channel. Shout out to Big Gene, the Gene Deal Show. He revealed today that he has information that the feds are currently writing up another indictment for Sean Combs, and that will go right alongside to what Lil Rod Jones said the other day in this interview with DJ Academics. So Big Gene, he did the interview, or he didn't even do an interview. He went on his channel today. Now, apparently some people were trying to get at Gene and disrespect him or something like that. And, you know, call Gene a snitch and all this other stuff. I don't know how Gene can be a snitch. He's a civilian. He's not he's not a gangster. You understand what I'm saying? He's a security guard. He's been a probation officer, I believe. And so he's been in a certain part of law enforcement. So there's no way he can be a rat if he is not, you know what I'm saying, a gangster. You understand what I'm saying? But let's get to what Big Gene said, because Big Gene basically was cooking because dudes was, I guess, trying to violate him and stuff like that. When he said that he knows stuff, these cats don't even know. They just talking. Let's go.
Was charged with 2 crimes or whatever like that, but he beat the RICO and everything. He beat that. Let me just tell y'all something. You understand? And I'm gonna let you know, I save a lot of information for payday. I save a lot of information for payday. When people want to bring me on their platforms and ask me questions, I save a lot of information for payday in case they want to ask me certain things. Now, let me say this to y'all. If you think that the Southern District of New York is going to be embarrassed by Sean Combs, aka Brother Love, this, that, and the third, son them out there dancing in the streets and all that shit like that, people doing the shit that they were doing, y'all out of y'all rabbit effing mind. When this boy get hit with this new indictment, because he gonna get hit with a new indictment. He might not never get out of jail. They writing it up as we speak.
Did y'all hear what he just said? Once again, this is via the Gene Deal Show. Shouts out to Big Gene. And he let it ride today. He said that normally he wouldn't have just gave up this information like this. You know what I'm saying? But he's saying right now, and that goes right alongside. You understand what I'm saying? What Rodney Jones said. Rodney Jones said the feds had already was working on more charges to bring against Diddy. So it seems like the feds were nowhere near done with Diddy. They was going to come back with, and now it makes sense, like, why they didn't sequester the jury, why they didn't do all these things. I believe in another trial, they're going to sequester the jury, all kind of stuff, bro. I that's what I believe is going to happen. I believe they tried to do it one way the first time, and I believe, man, they got their eyes on this dude, bro. Because why go through all this for that? Because they left a lot of stuff out. And the judge even said it in the bail. He was like, "Yo, you was in the and we ain't that. I didn't even allow that to be put into the case." So, you know, he said he was in a batter's program and stuff like that. He said there's a lot of information he didn't, and I saw the information because it was in the paperwork. They excluded a lot of information from this case. A lot of witnesses were not in this case. A lot of victims were not in this case. These people were either scared to come, taken out, or the judge didn't allow it in the case. But this is via the Gene Deal Show. Y'all go subscribe to his YouTube channel. This is what he had to say.
If you think that the Southern District of New York is going to be embarrassed by Sean Combs, aka Brother Love, this, that, and the third, son them out there dancing in the streets and all that shit like that, people doing the shit that they were doing, y'all out of y'all rabbit effing mind. When this boy get hit with this new indictment, because he gonna get hit with a new indictment, he might not never get out of jail. They writing it up as we speak, because that's why they didn't charge him with certain things that they didn't charge him with.
Now, let me speak on what he just said right there as far as they didn't charge him with certain things. And I'm going to tell y'all the reason why I don't think they did. I don't think they did because if the feds would have put everything in one case and got this result, it would have been hard for them to come back after Diddy. The fact that the feds left a lot of stuff out of this case means that they can bring it up in different charges and it won't be double jeopardy. So I believe that the feds outsmarted Diddy. I believe that what the feds did was they held back stuff in this case. This is what I personally believe happened. You can call me a hater, you say whatever you think you want to say. I believe that this is what happened. I believe that the feds purposely held things back in this case. The jury was not sequestered, things like that. So the feds may have had questions. So they held some stuff back that they could have hit him with, in my opinion, because I believe the feds knew. Think about this, y'all. If the feds would have hit Diddy with everything in this case, everything they had, and the jury would have found him not guilty, then they couldn't have came back with double jeopardy. But if they left things out of this case and they bring up new information that they didn't bring in this case in a different indictment, now that's not double jeopardy. It's only double jeopardy if they use the same witnesses or the same victims, in testimony that they did from the first case, right? So if the feds come, they have to come on a different case with different evidence. You understand what I'm saying? So if they withheld evidence on the first case, which is what a lot of people think that they did, that means they can come back on the other case and just put it in a different charge, a different indictment, and have a whole different case that they ran back. You see what I'm saying? To the person who asked me, am I happy about this? Sir, I want to see anybody who treats people like shit, beats up women. Do you? Let me ask you a question, sir. You said it sounds like a witch hunt, right? Let me ask you a question. You said Diddy. A lot of you guys say that Diddy, you admit to the violence that Diddy was beating up these women, right? Is that right or wrong, E Cousins? I'm gonna ask you a question right now. Is that right or wrong? So E Cousins, you in the chat room right now, you say that. Are you in agreement that Diddy beat the shit out of a lot of these women? Are you in agreement that Diddy is a woman beater? I'm asking you a question, E Cousins. Are you? So you're in agreement of that, right? So do you think Diddy should be punished for what he did to women? Not just his girlfriends, but women who work for him. Women who are friends of his girlfriend, right? Do you think that Diddy should be punished for that? No, I ain't asked you that. I asked you, do you think he should be punished for that? See, don't change the subject what I asked you, sir. I asked you, do you think Diddy should be punished for that? And I'm asking you that for a reason. I'm asking you that for a reason. See, you see where these niggas' character is at when you ask them questions like this and they can't answer them. He don't have no answer for that question. Do you think Diddy should be punished for beating all of these women? That's all I'm asking you. I ain't asking you nothing else, dog. Do you think that Diddy should be punished for beating all these women? Please answer the question, man. That's all I want you to do is answer the question. Right? Hold on. I ain't asked you that. You're not listening to what I'm saying to you, brother. I'm asking you, brother. You keep talking, you keep beating around the bush. You said, yeah, sure. Okay, you said they should charge him, right? So if they charge Diddy with the assault on these women, will you have a problem, sir? If he's charged with the assault on these women, will you have a problem if he go to prison? I'm gonna ask you a question. I'm gonna ask you a question, sir. You say you won't have a problem, right? Okay, cool, no problem, cool. Now hold your thought when you say that, right? When you say you have no problem with that, hold your thought on that, bro. The biggest mistake Diddy's lawyers made was admitting to violence in open court. They shouldn't have did it. Why? Why? What did Diddy's lawyers say in court, y'all? They made a huge mistake to get off of that RICO and the sex trafficking charge. What did they do, y'all? They said, "Oh no, this is nothing but violence, man. Diddy's a very violent guy, right?" They admitted that in open court. They said if this is a case of violence, hey man, we wouldn't even have it wouldn't even be no case. We wouldn't even be fighting it. They gave the feds a whole different case now, right? You have to understand this. Plus, you don't know what other things the feds have investigated, right? See, I'm telling y'all this right now. So here's my point right now, right? A lot of you guys are not even morally, you're morally bankrupt, bro. I want to show y'all something. Sex trafficking is done by force, fraud, or coercion. We all know that. Diddy's lawyer said that this was domestic violence. FYF, they're not doctoring up fake charges. They're not doctoring up fake charges, dog. What they finna hit this nigga with, they ain't doctoring up no fake charges. Trust what I tell you. See, you might want him to be fake because you might want Diddy to get off as a woman beater in general. Not even domestic violence, because when you're beating people who work for you, employees, that is assault. That is assault. And don't you know in some states you can get up 20 years in some states for domestic violence? From the type of beatings he was handing out, don't you know those can get up 20, 25 years punishment in some states? But let me say this to y'all, right? And I'm going to tell y'all this. Sex trafficking is done by force, fraud, or coercion. These dudes run around YouTube and they'll say, hey, man, Diddy didn't force Cassie to do nothing. She was a hoe. What you mean? The only thing Diddy was guilty of is domestic violence. Okay, cool. If Diddy was guilty of domestic violence, let me ask you a question. What does domestic violence stem from? See, you niggas gonna get ether effing around with me. I'm gonna ether every last one of you niggas. See, here's the thing. Domestic violence stems from a desire to gain and maintain power and control. Once again, power and control. Lamont, you don't know what they working on, sir. You just need to sit back and be quiet. There's a lot of stuff you don't know about, sir. I'm just gonna tell you that right now. A lot of stuff you don't know about. A lot of stuff you don't know about. Once again, domestic violence stems from a desire to gain and maintain power and control over an intimate partner. Abusive people believe they have the right to control and restrict their partner's lives. Control. What is sex trafficking? Sex trafficking is done by force, fraud, or coercion. Coercion could be giving drugs. Force could be by beatings. So when somebody doesn't do what you want to do, you just beat the hell out of them, make them do what you want them to do. Think about this. So when Diddy's lawyer said it in court, the government made a huge mistake. They should have jumped all over that. They should have said, oh, this is domestic violence? But if Cassie loved Diddy and did everything Diddy wanted, why would he need to domestically beat her ass? Because Roger Bonds have testified many times that Diddy beat Cassie for damn near over a couple years before Cassie even had enough heart to hit the nigga back. He said he was so happy when Cassie decided to fight Diddy back because Diddy had stomped her head in and beat the girl so many times. Make it make sense. But see, y'all don't call out that behavior. Y'all don't attack that type of behavior, which calls you guys character into suspect. When you use an excuse, she's a hoe or she's this, she's that, what does that matter? It's a lot of girls that you may call hoes that's just walking around here that don't deserve to get their ass beat. These are all facts. These are all facts I'm kicking to the people today. All facts. Right? Just because you think a girl is a hoe, it don't give nobody the right to beat that ass. It doesn't. It really doesn't. Right? And what it does is, and it's on both sides of the spectrum. This is not just men. Because women beat men too. They get frustrated. The man ain't listening. He doing what he want to do, and they start punching him, slapping him in his head. I told y'all this. I did multiple videos on Erica Mena when she punched Safari in the face for no reason. Because he didn't want to listen to you. He on the phone, and you want him to get off the phone. You start punching this man in the face because he won't do what you want him to do. So now you're trying to force him to do something? Make it make sense. This goes on both sides of the spectrum. See, you have to ask yourself a question. Why is Diddy beating on Cassie? If Cassie is in compliance to everything Diddy wants her to do, why do he need to beat on her? They can't answer that question. You know why they can't answer that question? Because they know they full of shit. That's why they can't answer that question, y'all. When you know you're full of shit, you can't answer real questions. You can't answer real questions. Right? Can't do it. Can't do it. You cannot answer real questions. Right? You cannot answer real questions when you want to lie and cap. When you want to lie and cap and you want to dance around this, can't dance around this, bro. See, I asked y'all a question. Can't none of them people answer that question. They don't have no answers for that. Once again, if Cassie was compliant and she was coherent and doing everything that she wanted to do, this is what y'all said she wanted to do to her own will, why did Diddy have to beat her? Why did Diddy have to beat her? Because, see, you ain't even got just Cassie. You got his own employees saying that Diddy would beat them. When the friend didn't tell Diddy where Cassie was, if she didn't comply, he beat her too and gave her a settlement, the white girl. That was in the case. Right? See, they never talked about the compliance. They never talked about that factor. Make it make sense. Everybody says she set up Diddy. How did she set up Diddy if she was getting beat? See, let me tell y'all something. My bad, y'all. If Diddy don't want Cassie around, he can send Cassie a lullaby. Tell her, get from around me. Same thing with Jane Doe. Same thing with all the rest of them chicks. Diddy's the money man. See, this is the part y'all not thinking about. When you the money man, you control who's around you. When you the money man. Do y'all hear what I'm saying? When you're the money man, you control who's around you. Right? So y'all are basically saying Diddy has bad judgment. He got all bad people around him. That's what y'all saying. Y'all saying it's everybody else's fault except for Diddy's fault. And he the one put these people in his life. He could have easily sent Cassie on her way. What did he do? Beat her ass for years. Why did Diddy beat Cassie if Cassie was compliant? Answer the question. I would have told the defense ass to shreds if they would have copped the domestic violence. Because all they had to, this is where the prosecution dropped the ball. As soon as Diddy copped the domestic violence, they should have said, well, if Cassie is complicit and she was happy like y'all said she was, why did he need to beat her ass? Why? What, was he just beating her ass for fun? Just come home, start whooping on her ass every day? So he did that for fun? Or did he do that to control her and maintain power over her? Because that's what domestic violence stems from. Let me tell y'all something. When you got in trouble as a kid and your parents gave you a spanking, why they give you a spanking? To get your ass back in line. To put you back in a place to where you needed to be. Think about what I just said. That's on a different scale, but I'm giving you an example. Right? Think about what I'm saying to y'all. If Cassie was complicit with all the shit Diddy wanted, why did Diddy need to beat her? And guess what, y'all? The sex worker that everybody's running around here quoting now, Clayton Howard, is saying he went after Cassie. Guess what he said? He said that he not only saw Diddy beating up Cassie during the freak-offs. Why would Diddy need to beat up Cassie during the freak-offs? Why would he need to punch Cassie and beat her up during freak-offs if she was doing all this stuff on her own? Why? Then he also stated that Diddy had a gun and threatened to pistol whip him for non-compliance at a freak-off. He said that. It's right here in his lawsuit. But these guys cherry pick. They don't want to read that. Read that paragraph right there from his lawsuit. This is his lawsuit right here. You ain't got to believe me. You go look it up your damn self. Clayton Howard right there. Yeah, that guy. The guy everybody trying to dog on the internet. And this is the reason why neither side called him up. Because he had smoke for both sides. Right? Everybody said, oh, he sued Cassie. No, nigga, he sued Diddy and Cassie. And he said that Diddy had a gun. He said Diddy had a gun. And repeat myself again. He said that Diddy had a gun in the freak-off. Read again. He said that. Diddy's lawyers could have subpoenaed him and made him come testify. You know why they didn't? Because they knew if he would have said that in open court, they done. He had a gun in the freak-off? Oh, yeah. And threatened to pistol whip him to assert his control. Look at what he said in his lawsuit. Right? Look at what he said. Look at what he said. Look at what he said. Right? Right there. Threats of violence were implied when defendant Combs wished to assert control. Why would he threaten violence if people was doing what they wanted to do? Make it make sense. If we're all in here doing the freak off and doing whatever the hell we want to do, why would Diddy need a gun to assert control? That don't make no sense to me. If everybody's complying, why do you need a gun and need to threaten a pistol whip somebody? Make it make sense. They're not telling y'all he put that in his lawsuit. He did. Read it right there. He said threats of violence were implied when defendant Combs wished to assert control, and during at least one encounter, he threatened to pistol whip the plaintiff, directing defendant Ventura to the master suite to retrieve his firearm. There you have it right there. He also stated in an interview with Tasha K as well that Diddy beat Cassie on more than 5 occasions that they had freak-offs. And he said he beat the shit out of her. Hit her with a 2-piece and everything. He said he hit her with a 2-piece so hard it knocked her across the room. Why did he need to do that if Cassie was compliant? Don't nobody want to say that. They just want to say domestic violence, but they don't tell y'all where domestic violence stems from. These dudes coward and hide and make other lame excuses. That's what they do. Because as soon as Diddy's lawyers capture domestic violence, man, I'll chop their ass up in that courtroom. Oh, y'all admitting to domestic violence? Oh, for real? Well, look at the balls of these guys. They're admitting to domestic violence. Now, they want y'all to think in this courtroom that Cassie is no victim, that Cassie did everything at free will. If that's the case, why did Diddy need to beat her? That's the question I would have asked to the audience. Why did Diddy need to beat her if she did everything at her own free will and she wanted all of it? Why did he need to beat her? They won't answer that question. Because anybody I know that want to do something, once again, you can charge them with the violence, Lamont, in federal court. Look it up, brother. In federal court, you can. And you said it's an 8-year statute of limitation. You're right, Lamont, which means, guess what? This went on up until 2024 with Jane Doe. She spoke of violence too. She was the one that went up until 2024 and Diddy whipped on her ass. And that's after the Cassie lawsuit came out. So guess what? Why you saying that? You answered a question that I wasn't going to talk about. Go look at her date, sir. She was after Cassie, sir. She was up with Diddy up until 2024, sir. Remember? Hers is still within the timeline, Lamont. She got her ass whooped right after the Cassie lawsuit. So when you say that, bro, don't wish too quick. Because that's what they did to R. Kelly. They went and got him in multiple states. That's how the feds do. And the state police, they line you up. They keep coming with these different charges to make sure they got you. Now, what have they done to Diddy already? They got him on 2 felonies. So now his lawyers can't go into court and say, oh, well, he doesn't have a criminal history. He does now. He's a 2-time felon. They can't come into court and say, oh, he's not violent. Anything now with violence, they've already admitted in court that he's violent. Case closed. You can't. That's why they got denied bail, too, when the judge said, hey, you yourself admitted to the violence. Go look at what the judge said. Go look at what the judge said. See, y'all got to ask yourselves. You still can't answer this question, Lamont. Y'all have to ask yourselves, if Cassie was compliant with all of this, she was down with all this, why did Diddy have to beat her? You ain't beat nobody that's doing what you want them to do. Think about that. Don't nobody want to answer that question. Once again, I'm going to say this again, right? I'm going to say this again to y'all, right? Excuse me, Lamont says, Lamont, you're right. That's the part, Lamont, that's the part you're not understanding, buddy. Lamont, this is what I'm saying to you, bro. You're missing my point, brother. And Lamont, you know I got love for you, dog, but you're capping right now, brother. You're missing my point. In federal court, Diddy was not charged with this. That's why he could be charged again, bozo. Listen to what I'm saying to you. They can charge him in state court in California for the ass whooping that he put on Jane Doe. That's what's in the timelines. What are you talking about? That and the fact that they admitted it in court, in a federal court, destroys them in state court because it's still within the statute of limitations. That's the part you don't understand. They didn't even charge him with that in the federal court, but they got his lawyers to admit in open court that he was violent and he copped to all the violence. Therefore, when they hit him in the state court, he already is a 2-time felon. He's done. You're not listening. That's why Gene said today, they already filling out more charges for him today. That's why they didn't hit him with everything in that federal case. Because if they would have hit him with everything in that and the jury comes back not guilty, they would have swooped them all in one swoop. That's not how they do you. They dangle a little bit here. Boom, let's see if we can get this conviction. We ain't get it? Okay, cool. Now we coming with this over here. But the fact that Diddy's lawyers made the biggest mistake ever. They admitted in open court to the violence. Now, all they have to do is, because Jane Doe's situation was up till 2024. All they got to do is go through the state in California. And Diddy's already admitted to that. And his lawyer said, look, if he was being charged with domestic violence for any of these things, we wouldn't even be here in court fighting this case. He would accept the responsibility. Well, guess what? Those words are going to come back to bite him in their ass. And then what people are going to say, they're going to show their true feelings and say, oh, no, this is unfair. What do you mean it's unfair? If Diddy gets charged for beating that girl's ass, ain't that what y'all said he should have been charged for? But that's not what y'all want. Y'all want this man who repeatedly used girls as a punching bag to walk free, and that's bullshit. And I'll never stand for no shit like that ever in my life. I will never stand for a nigga who loved to beat on women. I don't respect that shit, bro. At all, man. I don't respect it, bro. Niggas can't have daughters. Niggas can't have wives. Niggas can't have cousins. Niggas can't have nieces and be walking around talking like that, bro. Don't nobody with no level of honor and dignity respect a nigga who run around here beating and stomping on girls' heads. Don't nobody respect that shit, man. Don't nobody with no real class. That's the part y'all gotta understand. You really think they bought everything they had at Diddy? People still here talking like that's all they had. Are you crazy? These people must think the feds are just stupid and stuck on stupid. Even Lil Rod said in the interview with DJ Academics, he was like, man, all that stuff the feds got out that crib, he said they ain't even charge that nigga with a piece of what they could have hit that nigga with. You always got to think 10 steps ahead because you have to assume the feds are thinking 5 steps ahead. Because that's how the feds operate. The feds are always thinking ahead. What's the easiest thing to do? The feds could not just charge Diddy with the prostitution, the Mann Act, straight up. They had to bring something else, like the sex trafficking, and they tried to get him with a RICO in order to bring the Mann Act, the 2 prostitution charges, in a federal court. They got off with the sex trafficking and the prostitution, but they got him with 2 felonies with the Mann Act. That means he's a convicted felon. That means Diddy, if he gets hit with anything else, state or federal, that nigga going to prison for the long haul. And what they're going to do is they just going to try and hit that nigga through civil lawsuits and seize his assets through all the civil lawsuits that's accusing him of sex trafficking. Because the level of guilt or proof is not beyond a reasonable doubt in civil court. It's much lesser in civil court. This is why O.J. Simpson got found not guilty in criminal court and was liable in civil court. Right? And me personally, I think that niggas just off the strip of watching how Diddy treated people. This ain't even, bro, forget all the other shit, bro. Just off the fact of how you treat people, my nigga. Like, this is what you do? You just run around here beating on chicks? Bro, that nigga had a whole list. That list is long, my nigga. Of just beating on chicks, bro. What type of nigga do that, bro? What type of sane man that has all his ducks in a row run around here beating on chicks all day? Make it make sense. If that nigga went to the hood, took 10 fades or some shit like that, all right, cool, I ain't got nothing to say. But you beating on women all day long and niggas is cool with this? I'm like, yo, these niggas can't have daughters. There ain't no fucking way. I'm just being honest with y'all. Right? So back to what Big Gene said. And big shout to that brother Gene. Back to what Big Gene said. Big Gene put it down. Big Gene basically said it. Big Gene said straight up. He was like, yo, man. And look, and this was the crazy part because Lil Rod had just said it the other day. He just said in that interview with DJ Academics that he met with the feds for 3.5 days. He said, oh, yeah, the feds working on more charges against Diddy. Act said, more charges? He said, yeah, they're working on more charges right now. Then Gene comes out today and says, all these people running around here in the streets laughing and having celebrations. Man, the feds are drawing up a new indictment on this nigga right now.
Let me say this to y'all. If you think that the Southern District of New York is going to be embarrassed by Sean Combs, a.k.a. Brother Love, this, that, and the third, his son them out there dancing in the streets and all that shit like that, people doing the shit that they were doing, y'all out of y'all rabbit effing mind. When this boy get hit with this new indictment, because he gonna get hit with a new indictment. He might not never get out of jail. They writing it up as we speak. Because that's why they didn't charge him with certain things that they didn't charge him with. If you think that they can't come up with new indictments and new evidence that they.
All right, let me cook you real quick, because you a liar. Peppy Love says Gene can't say nothing to no one. Biggie died on Gene watch. You a damn lie. Gene Deal was not Biggie's security. What are you talking about? Biggie's security was Uncle Paulie. It wasn't Gene Deal. You're a liar. Gene Deal was Diddy's security guard, nigga. What is you talking about? You sound like a goddamn fool. Gene Deal had love for Big, would look after Big, but Gene Deal was Diddy's security guard. What do you mean Gene was there? You idiot. He was in the car with Diddy, not Biggie, you damn fool. He was in the car with Diddy. Gene Deal was Diddy's security guard. Uncle Paulie wasn't security for Big. Asshole light. What the hell is you talking about? Gene wasn't even in the same car. He was in the car with Diddy because he was Diddy's security guard. You are a fool. You a damn fool. Once again, Gene Deal was hired as Diddy's bodyguard, not Big's. What's wrong with y'all people? Big had his own security. What are you talking about? Y'all do stupid as hell and just say anything. Don't make no sense whatsoever. You just come on YouTube just to lie.
If they didn't have or they didn't proceed with or whatever like that, you're wrong. You're wrong. But let me get to this right quick, because I want to address some of these cats out here that want to get on the internet, and because they behind the keyboard, they want to, oh, Gene is a bitch ass nigga. Bro, first and foremost, let's get something straight. How you gonna call a nigga a bitch ass nigga when you got a boyfriend? I want you to answer that one. How you gonna call a nigga a bitch ass nigga when you straight up got a boyfriend? And I don't know if you're top, bottom, sideways, which one you're playing, but I'm gonna let you know. When two men lay down, two homos get up. It ain't got nothing to do with the LGBT community and whatever guys y'all do something. I'm talking about this half a homo cat that want to be tough. Call a nigga out his name because he want views and attention.
Now, I don't know who Gene is talking about right there. I don't know who he's referring to. But I do know that he said that those charges is being drawn up right now against Diddy. New charges. New charges is what he's saying, right? And I'm just telling y'all what's going on, man. I'm being honest with y'all, man. Like, bro, it's crazy to me, man. How people don't see this. I just don't get it, man. It's like, bro, bro, I don't understand, man. You know what I'm saying? Bro, I was just taught that, man, you ain't supposed to beat no woman, man. You know what I'm saying? And think about this, y'all. It's more people, and I'm going to say this to everybody listening to this video. It's more people that would be upset if Diddy was beating on animals. Oh, did y'all remember that reaction that the internet had when the dude said that Diddy locked the dog in the bathroom? People was more upset about that than Diddy beating on the girls. I said, what? People was more upset about Kid Cudi's testimony that Diddy had traumatized his dog allegedly versus him hitting those women and beating on those women. I really want y'all to think about that. If Diddy was accused of doing that to animals, bro, we wouldn't even have no question. The whole internet would have been in agreement he got to go. He can beat all them chicks and niggas out here talking about free Diddy. He cool. That's crazy, bro. And I ain't just talking about 1, 2, 3. I'm talking about this nigga got a whole line of chicks that say he whooped their ass. That worked for him, that were friends of Cassie. The goddamn chef don't came out and said he beat her ass. I want y'all to think about this. The chef came out and said Diddy whooped her ass and then tried to send her a lawyer. The other white girl who got hit with a wood hanger and gave a concussion to her, allegedly choked her out. Crazy work, man. I just don't rock like that, bro. I can't root for no nigga like that. I can't. The same way I can't root for a chick like Erica Mena. You out here punching dudes in the face, calling girls gorillas or whatever she called that girl, and people still be rocking with this chick. I'm like, y'all crazy? She shouldn't be able to get no show nowhere, on no reality show nowhere. She sat up there and straight punched the man in his face, 2-piece and everything while he on the phone. Safari. Ain't nothing happened. I'm telling y'all this. Called her a blue monkey. That's a fact. And punched a black man in the face multiple times on tape. Think about what I just said to y'all. That's why I said in the video, I never respect no chick like that. Because she ain't got, and I don't respect no chicks that beat up on their men. I don't respect no chicks that verbally try to humiliate their man. Why would you do that? Like some chicks do that. They will try and verbally and physically destroy their man, like humiliate their man. It's sad. It really is, bro. And you see this type of stuff going on all the time. And you think to yourself, how can people take off for people like this? This stuff happen all the time. And people out here acting like it ain't nothing. Oh, no, it ain't nothing, man. It's cool. What you mean? Chick Erica Mena is a menace to society, nigga. And any chick that's like her is the same. Right? So, yeah. Do I doubt Cassie was a freak? No, I don't. But that don't give that nigga no right to do what he did. And if she was compliant, why did he need domestic violence to beat on her? If Cassie was compliant and doing all the things she wanted to do without no problem, this is all what she wanted to do, why did he have to beat her? Don't nobody got no answer for that. They don't have no answer for that. They want to free Diddy knowing that this nigga's a woman beater. Period. And not just domestic violence. This nigga beat women who work for. So imagine if a nigga who your wife's boss, she go to work and this nigga beat on your wife. What's your reaction gonna be? See, niggas gonna have a whole different tune. But they're not gonna say that now because it don't fit their narrative. They'll just call you a simp, call you all these other names and stuff like that. Come on, man. So when you think about these things, like I said before, man, it all comes down to just morals, general morals and ethics and respect for people, bro. I'm not finna sit out here and put my hands on no chick, man. She don't want to listen. She gonna get her ass out of my house. Simple as that. Or if it's her house, I'm leaving. We ain't gotta have no argument. Because I'm not finna repeat myself. If I got to raise my hand at you, shit, we in the wrong type of relationship. I tell you that right now. Any chick I gotta raise my hand on, nah, dog. This ain't gonna work. It's not gonna work. You got to roll. Why? Because you ain't getting me locked the fuck up, messing around with you. That's not finna happen. Straight up. And there's too many women out here. It's too many women out here. Too many beautiful women out here. Why do I need to beat on any chick? If I'm Diddy, shit, nigga, I can cancel you, get another chick tomorrow. Like, dude, we ain't talking. I don't need to be beating on a girl, stomping her head in and stuff. Like, I don't need to do all that, man. A real man don't gotta move like that. Real nigga ain't gotta even move like that, bro. You know, you have common decency about yourself. That's what make people like respect you in general. You know what I'm saying? How you carry yourself. You know? If she ain't going, because there's a lot of chicks, they gonna go. If she ain't going the way you want her to go, then you ain't gotta beat on her, nigga. Just let her walk. Nigga, it's 1,000 Cassies out there. Real talk. It's 1,000 little Asian exotic looking Cassie chicks that's out there. She ain't the only one on planet Earth. It's 1,000 brown skinned chicks, 1,000 light skinned chicks, 1,000 caramel chicks. How you like them? Skinny, thick, plus size? What you want? They out there. Ready for whatever. So you don't have to take that route. Homie didn't have to take that route, man. You know what I'm saying? He ruined himself doing that because now people see you in that light. It's just like, bro, damn, the motherfucker ain't really respect you, bro. That's where I'm coming at from it. I just don't rock with no nigga like that, man. Like, bro, that shit whack, man. You really had to take it dead on my nigga. Like, when you think about it, you be like, bro, you really had to take that shit there, dog? Like, my nigga, what type of time is you on, Playboy? You should never have had to do that, dog, ever. That should have never even been an option for Diddy, man. He too much on a different level, man. Like, you got a black man like that that's got bread like that, that's put himself on a whole new level, whole different situation, man. You should never have to even, that should never even be a situation, bro. I'm disappointed that Diddy allowed it to be a situation, man. Like, real talk. If Cassie wasn't listening, nigga, you a billionaire, nigga. Nigga, she can go. Nigga, what I'm sitting here arguing, going back and forth with her for? There ain't no reason on earth I'm doing it. None. Right? And that ain't just with her. That's with a lot of people. I hold our people accountable more because we got to be smarter because they're going to come after us even harder. So when you get in these positions, man, know the people to put around you. Why would you put all these ratchet ass chicks around you anyways? Diddy got all these chicks looking the same. Cassie, Gina, Jane Doe, all these chicks. They all looking the same. I don't understand it, bro. And according to him, they all out of pocket, pretty much all of them. If Diddy was gonna roll, he should have had like 10 Young Miami type chicks. Straight up. He would have had no problems. That's facts. But to have to turn around and beat up on them chicks and stuff like that, man, I'm just saying, bro. I ain't never gonna roll with that, man. That's fucked up, man. Like, you're a fucked up individual. You know what I'm saying? Straight up, man. Straight up. It's like Ice Cube said in the movie, nigga, that's a female, nigga. Period, nigga. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to spaz out and trip out like that, dog. Just let it roll. Nigga, you puff, nigga. You know how many women Diddy could have had that just was gonna do whatever he said, but just because anyways? Make it make sense. Huh. Diddy got the chicks, they're gonna do what Diddy say anyways. It's Diddy, nigga. Hey, anytime you feel like you gotta raise your hand, nigga, she got to go. Nigga, cause I'm telling you something, nigga, a real G, you ain't even got to repeat yourself, nigga. So at the end of the day, man, I understand what why Big Gene is upset. You know, when you put your life on the line for somebody and then people just come talking shit about you that wasn't there, that's messed up, man. Imagine you putting your life on the line for somebody every day you was with them. Because, you know, people wanted Diddy at all times. So, Gene, you protecting this man with your life. You put your life on the line for a dude. See, a lot of these people ain't never had to do that on a day-to-day, that type of basis, on a security guard type of basis with a high-profile target, which is put your life on the line every single day for this person. It's deeper than what these people on YouTube think. You know what I mean? And y'all see, obviously Gene did his job because then nobody touched Diddy. Right? You ain't never heard about nobody touching Diddy on Gene watch. So they talk that shit about Big Gene, but Big Gene was out there when the wolves was out there, nigga. For real, for real. That shit was treacherous. That time they went through, Big Gene was bodyguarding Diddy, nigga, that was a real time out there. Niggas was out there getting busy for real. So, yeah, man. But salute to everybody. I'm trying to tell y'all what it is, man. You know what I'm saying? You guys gotta look at this stuff that's going on, man. See what the situation is, man. But yeah, even as I told y'all today, man, you got all these people going off and stuff like that, man. I mean, Big Genius say they coming with they drawing up another indictment on the nigga right now. So y'all let me know what y'all think. And Cassie's lawyer said that the feds are looking for consecutive sentences for Diddy on the what you call it charges, on the transportation and prostitution charges. Cassie's lawyer said today, he said in the interview the other day, he said that the government is looking for consecutive. That means they looking to stack Diddy's years. That they looking to stack each of the charges for the years. They trying to give Diddy a significant sentence. That's what Cassie's lawyer said, not me. Cassie's lawyer said this. Let me play this for y'all right now. He said this. I'll play this for y'all right now. This is Cassie's lawyer on CNN.
And now he is a two-time killer. Many other people have come forward are going to be seeking to hold Sean Combs responsible in the civil to choose the latter of those two options. She turned away the money at first. Ultimately, the case settled the day after. And, she went through a year-long process of preparing for this trial. I thought, and I think people who saw her testify, she was a great witness. She was graceful. She shined a light on this. Jane read the complaint. She came forward. Many other people have come forward are going to be seeking to hold Sean Combs responsible in the civil courts. And so it's not all lost. He now, as I said, he's never been held responsible for anything in his lifetime. He was acquitted on charges when he was in New York with the gun case. And now he is a two-time convicted felon, 2 federal charges. The government indicated after the jury verdict was read that they're going to be seeking consecutive terms and they're going to be seeking lengthy prison incarceration.
Told y'all. Everybody was lying. Cassie's lawyer said the government have already, and their letter comes out on the 8th, to see what their official recommendation is. And the word is they're recommending 20 years. Cassie's lawyer went on CNN and said the other day, he went on CNN and said that the government told him, they said that they're going after consecutive sentences for Diddy. That means both of his charges stacked on top of each other, and they're looking for lengthy prison sentences for him. It's all on the judge. I'll repeat it one more time what he said. He said it right there. I'll watch the interview.
And so Cassie was comforted in knowing that not only has she played a role in the criminal record, many other people have come forward are going to be seeking to hold Sean Combs responsible in the civil courts. And so it's not all lost. He now, as I said, he's never been held responsible for anything in his lifetime. He was acquitted on charges when he was in New York with a gun case. And now he is a two-time convicted felon, 2 federal charges. The government indicated after the jury verdict was read that they're going to be seeking consecutive terms and they're going to be seeking lengthy prison incarceration. And so Cassie was comforted in knowing.
I'm trying to tell y'all, he straight up said it. Right there in the interview, Cassie's lawyer, Doug Wigler, said right up there and said, man, they already said that they're going to be seeking consecutive sentences with his 2 charges. Not concurrent, but consecutive. They can run it back to back. And they're going to be looking at lengthy sentences. I think they're going to get that nigga 10. The way he talking. I think they're going to ask for 20. I think Diddy's lawyer's going to ask for the lowest. And I think the judge is going to go in between and give him 10. That's what I think's going to happen. Maybe I'm wrong. But from what he's saying, I think that the judge is going to go right in between. Oh, y'all going to see on July the 8th, they have another meeting. And that meeting, the government officially writes their recommendation of how many years they want to give Diddy. Cassie's lawyer said that they've already stated they want to give him the max. He's not getting 5 years or less. I promise you that. The judge did not hold him in on bond to give him 5 years or less. Not happening. Not happening. Not happening. Diddy thought he was going to get out with time served. That's why he thought he was going to get bail. If Diddy was getting out with anything small like that, and this is not no lie, my brother. I have no reason to lie, brother. I played that shit on the motherfucking tape, brother. Don't come to my channel saying it's a lie, brother. This ain't no lying over here, brother. Take your ass over to CNN, brother. The tape is up, bro. We don't play that shit over here, Playboy. Take your ass over to CNN. Her lawyer's over there right now. Listen to it.
So it's not all lost. He now, as I said, he's never been held responsible for anything in his lifetime. He was acquitted on charges when he was in New York with a gun case. And now he is a 2-time convicted felon, 2 federal charges. The government indicated after the jury verdict was read that they're going to be seeking consecutive terms and they're going to be seeking lengthy prison incarceration.
Did you hear that? So you can take your ass on over there to CNN, brother, where the lawyer did the interview, Cassie's lawyer, because Cassie's lawyer talked about the government. Bro, you don't have to care what they said, bro. The facts is the man is facing up to 10 years on each charge. First-time offenders face up to 10 years on each charge, and the discretion is at the judge. Both teams give their own report of sentencing. Diddy's lawyers give a sentencing report. The government gives a sentencing report. It goes in on July the 8th, brother. On July the 8th, both sides give their recommendation for time to the judge. The government says that even though Diddy's a first-time offender, they're asking for more time because they're attaching the violence to the prostitution charges, which is why, and if you look at the Mann Act, they have in there where they speak about the violence, sir, and that being a violent type of act. Hold on, I don't know, I forgot where I put that shit at. I got it in here somewhere. Got no reason to come in here and tell no lie to you, brother. He's not on the low-level federal guidelines, sir. You didn't read the paperwork, sir. I'm gonna show you the paperwork right now. Hold on, Playboy. You think he's on the low-level guidelines? He's not, because it's a difference in the Mann Act. The Mann Act has different points, sir, and they can give you more even if you're a first-time offender if you're violent. Matter of fact, I'm gonna show you. Let me show you. Hold on. Right here. See, this is why brothers like this dude that's talking in that comment section, you gotta read paperwork, Playboy. Playboy, you gotta read paperwork. You laughing now? I'm not even gonna block you, dog. I'm just gonna let you come back when they do that recommendation and the judge come get that sentencing. I'm just gonna let you come back and holler at me. See, read right there in the paperwork, sir. The Bail Reform Act governs whether a recently convicted defendant is eligible for release pending sentencing. Right? Once again, read right there above that yellow print, sir. This is the law in the paperwork, sir. A person convicted of a crime of violence is generally to be detained pending sentencing. This is the reason why they kept Diddy, because of the violence, sir. Once again, excuse me, sir, we don't have control over that. That's the jury who have control over that. Here's the one thing you got to understand, my brother. My brother, here's the one thing you got to understand. The jury have control over that. He was found guilty on 2 of the Mann Act charges. The judge have full discretion over his sentencing. If you listen to what the judge said, if you read what the judge said, my brother, read what he said when he denied Diddy bail. He denied Diddy bail because he said that the acts of violence was concurrent to what this paperwork says right here, as far as the Mann Act law goes. Read the paperwork right there, bro. Read right there above that yellow line that's stripped out. It says, a person convicted of a crime of violence is generally to be detained pending sentencing. By the explicit terms of the Bail Reform Act, a violation of the Mann Act, 18 U.S.C. 2421, is considered a crime of violence, sir. That's in the paperwork right there, sir. That's why the judge denied his bail. Read it. It's right there. I don't have no reason to come in here and lie to you, brother Cap. It's right there in the court paperwork, dog. And if you don't believe me, just go take your ass on over there to Pacer and pull it up on the court paperwork. Go pull up the court filings and you can get all the official paperwork and read it yourself, brother. I have no reason to come on here and lie to you, man. Well, if you knew what the Mann Act was, then you would know that in Diddy's situation, they're considering it a crime of violence, which increased his points, which gives the judge the leeway to sentence Diddy from 0 to 10 years, however he wants. What it is there is no mandatory minimum. So the judge can go as low as he want or as high as he want, up to 10 years on each count. And what it is that the violence is what takes the judge up or down on the Mann Acts. Read it. It's right there. I have no reason to lie to you, sir. You said it's a low-level lesser charge. No, it's not, sir. I mean, it's a lower-level lesser charge compared to the RICO and compared to the sex trafficking. Yeah, you're right. Because check this out, brother. The RICO has a mandatory minimum of 15 years. So does the Mann Act. I mean, so does the sex trafficking. See, you got to understand your law, sir. Before you just start talking, brother, you know what I'm saying? You got to understand the law, my brother, before you just start talking. The reason why the sex trafficking and the RICO was so important to Diddy, first of all, the RICO and the sex trafficking, they can take your money, bro. If Diddy was convicted of RICO or sex trafficking, not only can they seize assets that all had anything to do or link that was involved with this activity, they can also, bro, you're not listening to what I'm saying to you, brother. You're not listening to what I'm saying to you, my brother. Listen to what I'm saying to you, bro. I want you to listen to what I'm saying to you, brother. You're not hearing what I'm saying to you, my brother. This is what I'm saying to you. I'm saying to you, the difference between that charge and the other 2 charges is that they can take Diddy's money, seize his assets on the other 2 charges. And the other 2 charges had a mandatory minimum of 15 years, brother, because Diddy got hit with the special sentencing law, but he was found not guilty. The difference between that and the transportation of prostitution law, sir, is this. The judge, based on the violence involved in the case of the Mann Act, Diddy has no mandatory minimum. So the judge can come in there and say, hey, I ain't going to give you no time, you can walk. Or the judge can say, I'm giving you 10 years on each charge, and I'm going to stack them, and you're going to do 20. It's all at the discretion of the federal judge. These are all facts I'm giving you. And the way that the judge lines it up is based off of the violence. That's why when Diddy tried to get bail and his lawyer said, hey, man, we've been exonerated from sex trafficking and the RICO, We deserve bail. The judge says, no, you don't. You yourself have said your client is violent. And according to this law of the Mann Act, the Mann Act is considered a crime of violence. It's right there, yellow marked out on your screen, brother. Have no reason to come cap to you. So while Diddy has no mandatory minimum, the judge can say, you know what? As violent as this dude is, and I've seen it, I don't like this cat. I can get this cat 5 years on each charge, stack them, and give him 10 total. The only person that would be able to override the federal judge, if Diddy is Donald J. Trump. These are the facts. It's all on the judge, bro. It's all on the discretion of the judge, my brother. That's what I'm saying to you. And if the judge was going to give Diddy small time, he wouldn't have kept Diddy on no bail. Trust me. If the judge was only considering giving Diddy small time, and that nigga had just been found innocent on sex trafficking in Rico, he'd let that nigga go home. But the fact that he didn't let you know he got a cake bake for that nigga. And Diddy's lawyers know it. That's why his lawyer's quiet right now. Because his lawyers know it's all on the judge. That's why I tell y'all this. See, we can't control what the jury does. We can only talk about what we think from based off the information we've seen. Okay, the jury went one way, but they still caught him on those 2 charges. Bro, I'm not smiling nowhere in the world if I'm facing 20 years in prison. I ain't no getting off. Because even if Diddy got to do 10 years, bro, that's a long ass time, bro. That's a decade, my nigga. See what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. Like when you look at these judges, bro, it's all about how these judges feel about certain situations. Because when it's in the judge's hands, now the judge gonna make his decision based off how he feel. And guess what? Whenever Diddy's sentencing day comes, we're gonna find out exactly how the judge feel based off his sentence. They gonna give their recommendation. The other side gonna give theirs. Me personally, I believe that if Diddy's lawyers go on the low end, which is what they're going to do, and the government goes on the high end, I believe the way I've seen this judge operate, he's going to go right down the middle. That's what I believe. You know what I mean? Now, me personally, like I said, let me ask this brother something, because I don't think this is a bad brother right here. I think he seemed like a pretty cool brother. The Bullets Gotti. Okay, sir, let me ask you a question. Do you have a problem with what you seen Diddy doing to these women on these videos? Do you have a problem with a man beating on a woman? Because see, I have a problem with women who beat on men and mentally and verbally assault men and physically assault men too. I have a problem on both sides. I think men and women should keep their hands to their goddamn selves. See what I'm saying? I think a scumbag is the only type of dude that run around here and beat up on people. That's just what I think. I think you have to be a complete scumbag to run around here beating up on women all day. That's just what I think, brother. I just can't respect no nigga like that. You feel me, dog? I don't have no level of respect for no dude that just walking around here thinking he gonna just beat up on women all day. That shit is out of pocket. When you got that much money, you got that much position of power, bro, you have to have discernment, bro. When you get into that type of position, bro, you have to be a better decision maker. That type of shit Diddy was doing, bro, that shit out of pocket, my nigga. That shit out of pocket, bro. You got to be physically violent with a person just because you don't get your way. Now, like I said, if he ran down to the hood and caught 10, 12 fades in a row with men, I ain't got nothing to say. But that's not what we talking about here. I don't know if that brother's still in the comment section. I'm waiting on that brother to answer my question. I don't know if the homie's still in the comment section or not. You know, it's a good conversation to have with him, though. You know what I'm saying? Because I think that's a real conversation that need to be had. We already got an issue where, you know, they already coming at black folks. When you get black folks that get in these type of positions of power, bro, you can't blow the bag by doing dumb shit. You have to be smarter. You have to move in a more intelligent way than to be sitting down here beating up chicks in a hotel. You in $1 billion hotel kicking chicks in the head and beating chicks down the hallway. Don't make no sense whatsoever. That nigga out of pocket. He out of pocket, my nigga. What type of rich nigga you know at that level supposed to be seen beating some chick down the hallway and dragging her by her hair? Nigga, that shit is crazy. Animalistic type of behavior, man. Real talk. But see, what happens is that you get, people get desensitized to that type of stuff, man. When they see it a lot, they just stop caring. It don't bother them too much. And it should bother you. Cause see, any of these niggas, if that was their sister or their daughter or something like that, niggas will spaz out. Because it's not, they ain't got no problem with that. And see, I dare ask any brother again. If Cassie was doing everything she wanted to do, compliant 100%, why did Diddy need to use domestic violence to beat her? Make it make sense. Why did Diddy need to use domestic violence to beat her? He didn't have to use that. Diddy did not need to use domestic violence to beat Cassie if Cassie was complicit and did everything that she wanted and that he wanted. Period. And see, this is why you have a graveyard full of niggas and you got a prison system full of niggas. This is why. Because we have to educate ourselves to when we get to these situations, man, bro, listen, we got to have better discernment, bro. You don't see all these other entertainment people and rappers and stuff being called out for beating all these chicks and stuff like that. You may hear a few stories, but you don't be hearing it to the extent of where it's everybody that's in it. No. Some of these cats just ain't got no common sense. Right? So think about what I said to y'all. You know what I'm saying? That's just like if you say, hey, man, that's a crackhead. That don't mean you're supposed to beat them. I've seen people try to humiliate crackheads before. Smack them, punch them, all the other stuff, because they're a crackhead. That's not cool. If they're a crackhead, let them be. Just remove yourself from the situation. You have better discernment. You have a better state of mind than to be dealing with a crackhead. But these are the type of things I'm telling y'all, when you get money and you get power and you get status, you have to make better decisions, bro. And nobody's trying to hold the decisions Diddy made. If everybody's saying all these people was fucked up people, think about this. If everybody was saying that Cassie's a bad person, Jane Doe's a bad person, all these other people's bad, why did Diddy have these people around him for all these years? Why did he continue to have these people around him? Think about what I just said. If you seen that people wasn't good for you, wouldn't you immediately get them from around you and around your presence? Think about what I said. It's real, man. It's real out here, bro. It's real out here. I just think that everybody should be showing a lot more level of respect for each other. I'm big on that. I'm not going to disrespect somebody like that and do that to somebody. I'm just not. That's not how I live. I don't live to get up and run around here beating up on women all day and doing that type of shit, bro. That shit don't. I don't get off on no shit like that, bro. Because I help too many youth, and when you help youth and young people, you're trying to help develop mindsets to say no to drugs, to say no to violence. Let's get your ass on the basketball court and do something productive. That's how I try and help. Through teachings, activities, things like that. And if they see that you condone this type of dumb shit, it makes them think that it's cool. So I got youth that listen to me, and they think, hey, man, come on, man. If I'm cool with that, they think that shit is cool. This is the same thing that happens in the households. Kids see the father beating on the mother. After watching their daddy beat their mama up for years, they think that's the way. They don't know no better. They don't know that that shit is wrong unless somebody tells them. And sometimes, by the time some of these people get told, it's too late. It's too late. Minds have already been programmed a certain way. Right? Because when you look at Diddy, I don't care what nobody said. People say Diddy ain't talented. That nigga got some type of talent. He got the talent to find talent. You can tell he worked hard. But like I said before, you take those bad decisions and make those bad steps, bro. Again, I ain't never gonna want to be with no chick I gotta beat. If I gotta beat you, just don't even come around me. Real talk. Cause if you can't respect me off of us having a conversation, well, then we don't need to be together. We don't even need to be around each other. Real talk. That shit whack to me. And that don't make you no simp. That don't make you no buster. That don't make you none of that shit. That makes you a real solid nigga. Cause ain't no motherfucking man want to see another man or another woman beating up on men. And I'm gonna tell y'all ladies something, and I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. A lot of these dudes, they go off on y'all the way they go off because y'all don't keep the same energy when these women out here beating up on these men. Straight up. You had Erica Mena doing that shit. Like I said, she's a perfect example. You didn't even hear half the outrage for Erica Mena that we heard for Diddy. And Erica Mena punched this nigga in the face on tape. Safari showed the tape to the world. Erica Mena punched this nigga in the face, then they ain't even had half the same energy. Verbally abusing this man, did that shit in front of the kids, and nobody had no problem. I did about 3 or 4 videos on it, and people was like, well, are you crazy? She's still on TV, still got an opportunity, still doing reality shows. It's out of pocket, man. It really is, bro. It's out of pocket, y'all. And so the ladies, they got to step up and do their part. Start holding these ladies accountable. Stop absolving all these ladies from blame. Because a lot of the ladies, they do that. They go so hard, it's like they don't want to hold none of the ladies accountable. So what does that do? That causes a whole different situation. That make the men more angry and more heartless and not caring as much. And what does this do? This show y'all why there's a lower level of marriage. It shows y'all why there's a higher level and rate of divorce. It shows y'all why people can't get along together. I'm just saying, I read a stat that they ain't even doing family reunions are 46% down now in the black family. Are y'all crazy? I read that stat today. 46% down in the last, I believe, 15 years of family reunions because of internal family, just problems within the family. That's crazy work, but nobody's talking about this stuff. Nobody's talking about this stuff, right? You got to ask yourself, when the last time you had a family reunion? Can't have a family reunion if the whole family's separated. So these are things I believe should be brought to the table, man. But I appreciate all y'all tapping on in. Y'all know what it is. Salute to all of y'all. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just reporting what Gene Deal said. So Big Gene and Lil Rod have both said the feds are getting up new charges on Diddy. This is not what I'm saying. This is what they're saying. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Like, share, and subscribe. Much love. And salute to everybody that subscribed and watched the video. And let me tell y'all something. Everybody that watching this video right here, y'all get mad. But then when I do videos on other people, I did another video today on Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. or Jr. Y'all ain't even really want 10,000 views. Y'all ain't even want to watch that video. But then everybody will come here for this video. But then people will say, hey, man, why y'all be... No. Y'all don't want to watch that type of stuff. Let me know what y'all think, man. Link to the next video will be in the comment section. I'm gone.
All right, you guys. So we appreciate everybody that popped in, supported this video. Make sure that you guys shop our merch. We got that new A-Weapons merchandise right there below this video. All you got to do is look below. The links will be pinned at the top of the comment section as well to get the merch, to donate, support the channel, and subscribe to our podcast show. You'll see all those links pinned at the top of the comment section of this video. And we appreciate everybody that supports this channel and our networks. Also, that straight drop weight loss formula. Go to the website. You guys will see that. A link for that will be pinned at the top of the comment section as well. Go right there for all of your weight loss needs. Straight drop weight loss formula. We have a lot of testimonials on the website. You can go to www.str-8-drop.com and get you some of the weight loss formula today. Take your weight loss serious. Get in the gym, work out, exercise, and do what you got to do. Stay on point. We appreciate everybody that's been locked into this video. Again, all the links are pinned at the top of the comment section below. Salute to all of y'all. And again, we appreciate everybody who support what we doing over here.